Hi! Our discussion today revolves around the topic of happiness. It's a given that happiness is important in our life, and we should pursue what makes us happy. But why does ANGSA put a lot of emphasis on it? Because happiness is an essential part of our corporate culture. While it is true that it's an emotion that we often feel, it is something that we rarely talk about. Once we are more aware on the theories behind happiness, we will be able to reassess ourselves and move forward towards a happier life. Our presentation is divided into three parts. First, we will talk about the science of happiness, and you will find out that these principles of happiness are not purely rooted in philosophical analysis, but also based on scientific research by experts in the field of positive psychology. After which, we will measure your level of happiness based on a simple scoring tool. Lastly, we will share the 10 proven strategies to be happier, which will ultimately result in a better quality of life. You see that guy with the big grin on his face on the right side of your screen? That's Dr. Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, which he founded in 1998. Let's have a quick review on the broader field of psychology, which is the science and discipline to cure mental illnesses. Some of you may have taken this up in college, so you're obviously well aware of its importance. The objective of this science is to understand human behavior and mental processes, to make miserable people feel less miserable. While Dr. Seligman was working as a psychologist, he wondered, if psychology helps miserable people feel normal, then what would prevent us to use psychology to help normal people feel even better? The depressed people are in a negative state, so the goal is to restore their normal or neutral zero state. The people who are already in this state of normality can still advance to reach a positive state. Out of this idea, the branch of positive psychology was born. It is a science of happiness, which provides people with ways to get greater satisfaction from life. Positive psychology outlines the three components of happiness, namely pleasure and positive emotions, engagement and flow, and meaning and purpose. We will talk about each one of them in greater detail as we go along. Let's discuss the first component, pleasure and positive emotions. This level of happiness is easily felt whenever we do things that provide us pleasure and enjoyment. Whenever you take part in leisure activities like watching a movie, eating your favorite food in a restaurant, or shopping for things you desire, then you are living the pleasant life. This means getting as much pleasure as you can. However, the main setback is that the quality of happiness decreases with time. If you do it over and over again, then the level of pleasure also decreases. For example, your first taste of dark chocolate may be really heavenly, but its quality is going to reduce by the time you taste it for the 7th time. This kind of happiness is considered shallow, but so many people build their lives around pursuing pleasure. Let's move on to the second component, engagement and flow. This level of happiness gives you the feeling of complete engagement in a creative or playful activity, which is familiar to athletes or musicians. You reach a state of concentration and you're completely absorbed in what you are doing. You experience a sense of deep involvement and immersion, whether these are activities related to family, work, romance, or hobbies. Flow is when you're engaged in a challenging activity that matches your very own skill set. I bet you have heard the expression, time flies when you're enjoying yourself, because that's exactly what happens. Time stops for you because you're so absorbed with the activity that you barely notice the passing of the time. You disregard your other needs like food and relaxation. Like a musician playing an instrument, you're one with the music. Like Michael Jordan, who tirelessly plays basketball, you're in the zone. This is living the good life. Let's take a look at the different mental states of challenge and skill level as designed by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a professor of psychology and one of the leading researchers in positive psychology. Together, let's interpret the graph. The challenge complexity levels are on the vertical axis, while the skill levels are on the horizontal axis. Now, how does a person with low skills feel relative to different degrees of challenges? Focus on the left side of this graph. Low skills plus low challenge equals apathy. Low skills plus average challenge equals worry. Low skills plus high challenge equals anxiety. What about a person with average skills? Focus on the middle part of the graph. Average skills plus low challenge equals boredom. Average skills plus average challenge equals the individual average. Average skills plus high challenge equals arousal. Lastly, how will a person with high skills fare against different challenges? Focus on the rightmost part of the graph. High skills plus low challenge equals relaxation. High skills plus average challenge equals control. And high skills plus high challenge equals flow. In short, there should be a balance between an individual's skill level and challenge level for flow to occur. Flow can happen in any activity as long as these conditions are met. Now we've reached the last component of happiness, finding meaning and purpose. It's when you know what your highest strengths are and you use them for something bigger than yourself. This happens when your actions are not only for yourself, but for other people, an organization, or a worthy cause. This is our innate desire to act morally and do something good, which will make our life more meaningful. Take the example of Bill Gates. We all know that he's one of the most successful and richest businessmen on the planet. Yet even if he could afford all the luxuries in the world, they wouldn't be enough to make him happy. Since 1994, Bill Gates has been sharing his fortune to charities, and his foundation has donated more than $28 billion. As a philanthropist, he has shown his love for humanity by sharing his wealth to other people. Another example, Mother Teresa spent her entire life in the service of other people, and she felt immeasurable happiness doing so. She once said that one of the greatest diseases is to be a nobody to anybody. In short, we are living a meaningful life when we realize that we are not only living for ourselves, but for other people as well. In summary, Dr. Seligman and his positive psychology peers believe that you can raise your overall life satisfaction by working on the three components of happiness. First, by getting more pleasure out of life, which can be done by savoring sensory experiences. Second, by becoming more engaged in what you do every day. And lastly, by finding ways to make your life more meaningful. So having talked about the different components of happiness, the next important question to ask is, are you happy? Time magazine conducted a survey on happiness in the United States in 2004, and based on the data gathered, Americans are overwhelmingly happy and optimistic people, regardless of how much money they are making. 78% of over 1,000 American adults surveyed said that they are happy most of the time, while only 5% said that they are rarely happy. Check out the other statistics rendered by the survey, and they still have a common denominator. The rate of happiness is generally high. Now it's your turn to measure your own happiness. How happy are you? We will find out by using the Satisfaction with Life scale developed by Edward Diner, a psychologist at the University of Illinois. This was devised in 1980. It has been used widely by researchers ever since. Read the following 5 statements, then use a 1 to 7 scale to rate your agreement. Hit the pause button to give you time to answer, then hit play once you're ready to proceed. It's time to compare your scores to the scoring system. You will find out your level of satisfaction with your life. I sure hope nobody scored below neutral, because if you did, then we've got a lot of work to do to increase your score. At this juncture, we would like to share the 10 proven strategies to be happier, based on the books of the following experts in the field of positive psychology. These are Sonja Lyubomirsky, author of The How of Happiness, Tal Ben-Shahar, the author of Happier, and Dan Gilbert, the author of Stumbling on Happiness. These happiness gurus have spent years mastering the techniques of living a blissful life, and they have summed up their recommendations into 10. There's just a couple of things that I would like to reiterate before we move on to the 10 strategies. Remember, Our overall happiness is not merely the sum of our happy moments minus the sum of our angry or sad ones. And one more thing, having more money is not equated to a higher level of happiness. Numerous studies have shown that once your basic needs are met, additional income does little to raise your sense of satisfaction with life. The 10 following strategies have been scientifically proven as efficient ways to enhance life satisfaction and overall happiness. Tip number 1. Be optimistic and smile. Having a positive outlook is associated with better health, a longer life, and greater joy. When you look on the bright side and believe people are good, you directly increase your own happiness. Try to smile even if you don't feel happy. Sounds insane, right? But did you know that smiling releases serotonin in the brain? It's a hormone that instantly lifts your mood and makes you feel better. Plus, people who often smile are viewed as sincere, attractive, and sociable. So with a simple act of smiling, you change people's perspective about you. Tip number 2. Practice acts of kindness. Being kind to others, friends or strangers, triggers a cascade of positive effects. It makes you feel generous and it gives you a greater sense of connection with others. Kindness wins you smiles and approval from the people around you, and they will reciprocate the kindness you have shown them. These are all happiness boosters. Visiting a nursing home, helping a friend's child with homework, or making a donation to charity are random acts of kindness which can give you a major happiness boost. Try to do at least 5 every week. Take note that giving makes you feel good about yourself. When you're volunteering, you're distracting yourself from your own existence, and that's beneficial. Giving puts meaning into your life. You develop a sense of purpose because you matter to someone else. Tip number 3. Refresh your life. Pay attention to momentary and simple pleasures in life. Take the time to focus on the sweetness of a fruit, the warmth of the sun, or the cool sea breeze. Psychologists also suggest taking mental photos of pleasurable moments to review in less happy times. Unburden yourself of possessions that lock you in the rat race of earning more money to pay for things you don't really need. Spend time and resources on things that add meaning. Tip number 4. Learn to forgive. Your heart becomes heavy if you're still harboring negative feelings towards someone. We all get hurt in life. But we must let go of anger and resentment by writing a letter of forgiveness to a person who has hurt you in the past. If the person doesn't reciprocate, then at least you have done your part. According to Dan Gilbert, the inability to forgive is associated with persistent rumination or dwelling on revenge, while forgiving allows you to move on. Tip number 5. Make time for your loved ones. Celebrate and just have fun together with your loved ones, partner, and children each day. Enrich your life with family memories for greater satisfaction. Being busy is not an excuse because we can always find ways to work around our schedule. We should find time for social interactions with the people that matter the most. Where you live, how much money you make, and your job title have surprisingly small effects on your satisfaction with life. The biggest factor appears to be strong personal relationships. The happiest people are not loners. Attend social gatherings, host a party, and call on your close friends to touch base as often as possible. Tip number 6. Thank a mentor. Know that you wouldn't be where you are right now without the help of other people. If there's someone whom you owe a debt of gratitude for guiding you at one of life's crossroads or for pulling you out of a deep hole you found yourself in, then find the time to express your appreciation. You can even make a gratitude visit. Write a testimonial thanking a person to whom you owe a lot, pay that person to visit, and read the letter out loud. This probably sounds like a cheesy activity because it really is, but it has been done many times before, and the effect is amazing. Martin Seligman affirmed that the people who do this are measurably happier and less depressed, even after 3 months have passed since the gratitude visit. Tip number 7. Take care of your health. The healthier you are, the more likely you are to be happy. Take care of your body by eating right, exercising, sleeping well, getting preventive care, and reducing your stress level. These can all improve health and happiness. These routine activities can all enhance your mood. When you practice them regularly, they can help make your daily life more satisfying. Tip number 8, develop your spirituality. Research shows that people who are spiritual tend to be both happier and healthier than those who are not. But even if you're not really religious-minded, you can still get in touch with your spirituality. Consider meditation, spiritual readings, or individual prayers. Religious faith has been shown to help people cope, but so do the secular beliefs enshrined in axioms like, "That which doesn't kill me makes me stronger," or "When a door closes, another window opens." The trick is you have to believe them to help you keep it together. Tip number 9, express your gratitude. Create a gratitude journal in which you write down 3 to 5 things for which you have been thankful in the past week. It could be a phone call from an old friend or your son's first steps. Do this once a week and keep it fresh. And remember, don't just think about them, write them down. This will help you reflect if you have a written account of your blessings. In a social experiment, the people who took the time to count their blessings once a week significantly increased their overall satisfaction with life over a period of 6 weeks, whereas those that did not keep journals had no such gain. Tip number 10, commit to be happy every day. Being happy is not a state. It's both a decision and a habit, like going to the gym or running 3 miles every day. You have to recommit to it every day of your life. Eventually, some of the strategies will become habitual over time without a particular effort. Have you heard of the 3-week rule? It takes 21 days of daily practice for a special activity to become a life routine, like a simple prayer in the morning or no food intake after 6 p.m. It is something that we do even without thinking about it. So, think about it. I sincerely hope that you will try out each strategy, see the results for yourself, and feel a major happiness boost in life. So good luck, have fun, and enjoy life. We'll catch you all later.